Hello. Thank you for listening and watching You Had Options. This episode, I have Candice Maritato from the band Woolbright. Great band. They just put out an EP last year called Carousel. It's great. Go check it out wherever you get music. Yeah, great conversation. Talk about the art of bartending. Just R&B artists, how she writes songs, all the essentials. This episode is brought to you by Heat 2 by Michael Mann. Yeah. Check out Michael Mann. Check out Heat. Check out Woolbright. I believe it's at Woolbright FL on the social medias. Check out You Had Options. At You Had Options. Go subscribe to the podcast. Go, follow us on YouTube. Yeah. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Enjoy. Okay, Candice. Hello.
Hey.
Thanks for joining me.
Yeah.
We were saying before that it's been, I don't know, every time we had it figured out, something popped up.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. That's general punk rock, time where it's you got to be flexible. But you're a bartender.
Yeah. I currently bartend. It has been really fun, but recently I've been really over it, and I'm kind of over dealing with drunk people and doing that. But
I understand.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Are you at a what's the bar like? Is it like a mixologist bar, or is it like are you using, I don't know, setting stuff on fire and I don't know, combusting stuff?
I am. Some would call me a mixologist, if you will. I work at a speakeasy.
Oh, shit.
It's fun, though. It's really fun. It's definitely a different style and a different pace of bartending that I like, because people care about the craft, you get creative.
Yeah.
People care about what's happening. And most of the time, people aren't getting hammered. They're not just ordering one and ones and getting hammered. People are like, oh, this is delicious. This is from this region and this and whatever. And they care about that. So, yeah. But.
Wait, so do you guys post a speakeasy entry word every day? Is it that sort of thing?
It's funny because speakeasies, initially they were, during the time, Prohibition era, actually low key, but it's funny that they pop up now because you could just look up speakeasy bar and you could just find the code.
Right.
It's you get, it's a number and you find it online. Yeah.
Is it in an old bank vault, your bar, or is it just
It's actually we are above a sports bar. So it is a sports bar, same owner, but it's two different concepts. And you walk in, it's a random door. It looks like there's a bunch of E.H. Taylor bottles. People always get confused with how to find us, and we're upstairs from that. You type a code in. And,
oh damn, that's pretty sick. So you've has bartending been your main gig for a while?
For the last year and a half, I was teaching yoga. I was in the service industry, and then I wanted to get away from that, and I started teaching a lot of yoga. And even through the pandemic, I was teaching virtual classes, and then once things started picking back up, I was like, yeah, I need to start making more money to afford to live. Especially living in South Florida, things are very expensive. They have skyrocketed up, so more than it already has been. And so I'm like, okay, I guess I'll start bartending again. There's no shows happening right now, nothing like that. So I'm not going to need the weekends off like all the time, like how I did before. And touring really isn't a thing. And then now it's starting to get a little bit in the way now that tours are happening again and stuff. So,
damn. Yeah. So, this is going to come out next week, but you guys got some shows coming up this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Is it,
we got
Florida Weekender going on?
Yeah. Florida Weekender. We're going to be on the road with our friends in Blaze. They're a Jacksonville, like, emo pop punk band, and Guilt. They're like a screamo rock band. They're really fucking cool. I know Guilt's going to be doing like a month-long tour. They're doing like a whole situation, but like me and Glaze, me and Justin hit each other up and we're like, we are playing that show in Gainesville on the 3rd for the warm-up, sponsored by Fest. And we were just like, hey, you want to do a weekender out of it? And like, just like, yeah, let's do it. So we are doing Tallahassee on Friday, Gainesville on Saturday, and Orlando on Sunday. So it'll be our first little string of shows, since 2019.
That's cool. And you guys put out a EP last year?
Yeah. Was it last year? Holy crap.
21?
Whoa. Yeah. We put out.
Where does the time go? Time just constantly escapes.
Yeah. Yep. Because we did like a 6-month little like marketing rollout for when we put that out, because we couldn't tour. Like everyone in the band, our drummer, he does gigs, like wedding gigs and stuff like that. He does events, drumming as well as like sound and lights and stuff like that. So all of the stuff from the last couple of years that got canceled got rescheduled. So he's been super slam packed with like gigging. Oh shit!
Doing like actual like weddings and shit. Yeah.
So it's been hard to tour and get that going. But hopefully, sorry, my train of thought went that way. Why did my train of thought go that way? What was the question?
The EP came out last year.
EP. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So we were like, since we can't tour, what can we do in order to like keep our stuff going? So I'm like, we did a 6-month rollout of putting out our music, that little EP, and it was really fun. It was definitely something very different, to let people know we're still doing stuff and getting going. So it was nice to put out music. It's been a hot minute. Hot minute.
What was the last thing y'all had put out before the EP?
Before that, I put out 2 things. So I put out it was just a solo thing, a split with Absent Father, Haley Butters, Absent Father. We put that out in November, I believe it was, or October of 2019. We put out a single, which was full band, in 2019 of, I think, like June or July or something like that. I think July. And then before that, our LP, our first record we ever put out, that was put out in 2017, although Spotify, it says 2019, but that was put out in 2017. Damn. So, yeah.
Are you the main songwriter, or is it like a group thing?
I definitely write the skeletons of the songs. I am the main songwriter, but I feel like that's going to change. And then I feel like it's going to. It's definitely changing. Like everyone writes their own parts, but I just like to do the structure, and from there we'll like kind of mold it differently if it needs to be done differently, or if we like something better. But for this new record coming up, Josue, our guitar player, who he's got the most amazing freaking mind of all time, in my opinion, he's like my favorite songwriter of all time. He plays in a bunch of really cool bands. Lando, he used to play in A Run for the Coast. He's amazing. He's a multi-instrumentalist. He's awesome. He teaches music now too. It's really awesome. He's like Jack Black at his place. It's awesome.
Okay. Screaming at kids.
Kids too. Yeah. But yeah, he's come up with a couple of songs that he wants to work on, some ideas. So that'll be new for me, and honestly fun, because it'll work something different, make my brain work differently. So that'll be cool.
Yeah. It's it's always because I'm not like, hold on. There's an Amazon person.
Oh,
never mind. Okay. She just spiked the box and she's gone. But yeah, writing has always been weird to me because it's like, you know, I don't know, insecurities of like not being strong enough songwriter. So I'm always like, let me find somebody else to be in a band with.
Yeah. And it's weird because you think like people, and that's true, like you get that creative bit that happens.
Yeah.
But also like you got to practice that muscle. You just got to write songs. Even if they're not good, you can't worry about it being perfect, but like just try it.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you like passively come up with ideas and just like, I don't know, something sticks in your brain and you just put it in your notes app, or like or do you have to like actively be, all right, I'm writing music for the next 30 minutes or whatever? I don't know.
Both.
Yeah.
Both happen. So I'll get melodies. I'll either have guitar parts that I'm like, oh, this is cool, and I record it. Or I have melodies in my head. It could happen literally. I could be walking around in Target and I have like a melody and I just start humming it into a voice note.
Yeah.
And yeah, both. And then sometimes I'm like, I'm going to sit down and write a song. I'm going to sit down and write, even if it fucking sucks. I'm going to sit and just do it, get it done, and exercise it later. And maybe I hate it. Maybe I don't. Maybe you build off that. But yeah, so.
Have before Woolbright, have you always been in bands since like?
No. So I didn't start singing. I played guitar since I was like 9, and I didn't start singing till I was like 17. I'd always wanted to sing, but I never did it. And I had met someone in high school, and we started like a project together, and that was like my first it was like an acoustic duo project. And then from there we stopped doing that, and then I was just doing solo stuff. And while I was always in that project, I was always still writing my own music. And then from there I started playing we did Woolbright. I got Woolbright is an amalgam of all the people in bands that I loved in South Florida, like my favorite bands. We had always wanted to write and like be in a band together. So I'm like, hey, you guys want to do this together? And here we are. I did play in a hardcore band at one point. Did vocals for a hardcore band.
Okay.
More metalcore. Super fun. But once I started getting the ball rolling, then I was doing bands and things like that. But Woolbright's really been the main gig. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. And you're in I don't know, Florida, South and Central Florida. It's, you know, there's so many good punk realm, people in the punk realm or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It's a hotbed.
100%. I feel like people are starting to see that a lot now, and they're recognizing like, oh, there's a lot of cool stuff coming out of Florida, and Florida's so big.
Right.
And Florida's so unique. Like, we used to have so many. I've been going to shows for a really long time. I haven't been in bands, but I've been going to shows for a long time since I was like 14. And we used to have this space called the Talent Farm, and that was like the longest lasting all ages venue in South Florida. And I feel like anyone from South Florida, if you ever like interview them or talk to them, they'll bring up Talent Farm at some point. I know Scott Toon, they stan. They used to work there at Talent Farm. They stan Talent Farm I think they have a Talent Farm tattoo. It was just a staple piece, and there were a lot of mixed genre shows. There's so much different types of music that happen down here, and so it's so much. So it's cool to kind of see some of that branch out, like people move into different pockets of the United States and continue doing music, and just having that branch out, and people know about Florida because of that as well. I feel like North Florida people are more aware of, and people are more willing to tour down and go down to those dates and stuff like that. But I know getting down south, even to Orlando, is like a hell of a drive. Yeah. You could just tour Florida. You really could just do an entire Florida and hit main cities and do well.
Yeah. It's funny, growing up in Mobile, like Pensacola is 45 minutes away, but it's, you know, which is Florida.
Yeah.
But it's like,
yeah,
there's so many different Floridas.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I know like the panhandle of Florida is like pretty much just like southern Alabama. Mm-hmm. So,
pretty much.
Yeah. 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 Which is honestly pretty epic. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Me and my girlfriend just moved to Birmingham. And so it's cool. There's a lot of music going on up here. A lot of like, I know I've ran into Jesse a couple of times.
Yes.
I tried to catch his new hardcore band, I guess, Wielded Steel, but I missed them at a show.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting coming up here and seeing like a thriving like hardcore punk scene going on.
Oh yeah, I feel like Birmingham is they've been on that hardcore like heavier music kick for like a long time. I feel like that's very popular in Birmingham. And talking to Jesse on this last tour, like talking with them, like I got a little bit more insight of like how this scene is, not too much, but like we've talked about it a little bit. So it is that, because like Woolbright, we've toured through Birmingham. Kasim used to live in Birmingham.
Okay.
And
yeah.
They would book shows. They booked a couple of shows for us there, and kind of growing that like indie, you know, more alternative rock scene over there. I don't know how big it is right now, but I know like the heavier music definitely is pretty popular there. But Wielded Steel freaking amazing. They man.
Yeah, they're cool. I don't know. They reminded me like of I don't know if you're familiar with like Face Down Records. They're like, I don't know. They were really big and like, I guess they were like, it was that weird time of like where so many bands were like quasi-Christian or something.
Okay.
You know, but hear me out. I don't think that Wielded Steel sounds like a Christian band, but like in the early 2000s, there's that weird influx of like there's an I'm trying to say this the right way. This is a compliment. Where the I don't know, Face Down is super like heavy, but there's like always like a quasi like air of like, I guess one of the bands was Christian or something, you know. I don't know if you're familiar with like Tooth and Nail Records.
Yeah.
So like it was kind of that thing where it's like, I guess it's a quasi Christian label, but like I don't know. But it wasn't like anyways, they're good. they're hard. Yeah. That's what I'm getting at.
Heard, yeah, for sure.
running on heads at shows, whatnot, all that good stuff.
Heard.
Oh shit, yeah. But yeah, I need to get Jesse on the podcast. In studio, do an in stew. But yeah, what so Woolbright definitely has like a sound. Are you constantly? I don't know. Are you ever like, let's add a theremin or do something weird? Like what's your process with like coming up with new music, and are you always thinking of like, I don't know, not like shoehorning in something weird just for something weird, but something experimental, I guess. I don't know.
So how I will say, like, this next album we're about to write, that we are writing, we definitely want to take our time with it, and we definitely want to add as many layers as we feel fit. I like want to have like a week or 2 weeks even of where we just like are secluded somewhere and just doing a bunch of stuff and getting weird and doing whatever the fuck and like recording weird sounds.
Yeah.
I don't know what those weird sounds would entail, but I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to just sit and just write an album and like sit and really just flesh out a bunch of ideas and just get weird with it, because your recording is like that full vision. and then a live, and then when you're doing something live, that's a different experience. Like, it doesn't have to be exactly what you do on the record, but it's a different experience, and that's also makes it interesting to want to see a band live. Is like, it's different. You add different things, or it's more minimal or more, whatever the fuck. But I don't really think too much about it. My main reason for writing songs is because it's like I like need to. So it's when I'm writing songs, I'm like, I have something to say. I feel this in my heart. I need to let it out. It's like therapeutic for me. Does not replace therapy. Therapy's great, but it is therapeutic. It is a form of self-care for me, So I feel like if I start thinking of, man, that'd be so cool if I added this or that. And there are times where I'm like, oh, like adding this type of instrument or this type of sound in here, not to get too specific, I'll be very broad about it, but like adding certain things, I do think about it, and I'm like, I would love to add this, or like there's like a clip from a song, or like I want to pay like respect to like another song. Like, I love R&B. It's like my bread and butter. And this next album, even though I want it to be really heavy, there's like some songs that I'm like, I want to like have similar lyrics or a similar vibe. Like, I know a lot of artists do that, where they will like borrow each other's songs and like show like, what is it, homage to it? Yeah. Is that the word for it? Yeah. So like, I think that's like always really fun to like have a tip of the hat to like, oh, this song, and like tying it in with another. But yeah, I don't really think about that stuff too much. If it comes naturally, but I'm sure once we start recording, that'll start to flow. And Host Sway is really good with that stuff. He really likes to add as many textures and layers and nutrition, if you will, a little bit of ear candy here and there, to call it. He loves doing that shit. And yeah, we all have like our strengths for sure. But yeah, long-winded answer to just be like, I'm not really thinking about it right now, but yeah, it'll probably happen.
Give you some of that ear candy. We're trying to give your ears type 2 diabetes. Just the ears though. What are some R&B artists that you listen to a lot?
I listen to a lot of Frank Ocean.
Oh yeah.
I love. This is not so much R&B as it is more like neo soul. I love Hiatus Coyote. I love Napalm. Her solo stuff's freaking amazing. SZA, like a more love SZA. I love listening to like old R&B songs. Like there's that Mark. It's more of like a party song, but like there's like that Mark Morrison song, "Return of the Mac."
Return of the Mac. Yeah.
Amazing song.
I think he had after that song came out, I think he kind of like went crazy. I remember just randomly looking up his Wikipedia. I think he got. I forgot, he got arrested for something bad.
Oh.
Can't remember.
Okay. Damn, I'm not aware. So please don't come from me anymore.
No. I didn't mean that as like, oh, Candice. Well, I'm going to trap you. That was a trap. Yeah, because I knew you were going to say it. No, it's something crazy. He might have like stabbed somebody. I can't remember, but it doesn't take away from it being a hot song,
Yeah, true. Daniel Caesar, by the way. Yeah, love Daniel Caesar. I'm like trying to think of like all this stuff right now. I'm like, what other bands? What other projects? Yeba Smith. I don't know if you ever listen to Yeba Smith. She's amazing. She's done stuff with like Jacob Collier and like Robert Glasper and stuff like that. Flying Lotus. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. That's not so much R&B, but that's like that jazz, neo, like soul, just feel good, funky awesomeness.
Yeah, I think Thundercat is supposed to be playing here soon. I don't know if you're a Thundercat person.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's always interesting to me, especially like, how it is touring where everything is constantly falling apart. It's like, it's tough, especially with punk stuff. It's not like you're making money on tour usually. So like trying to have a decent like especially if you're incorporating all this different stuff on recordings and trying to have a good representation of the song when you're playing it live. I don't know, is that something you think of like, shit, we're not gonna be able to have 2 keyboardists or whatever come along on tour?
No, I don't think about that too much. And that's like another thing too, is like a lot of our stuff is very like, we don't add a bunch of crazy layers of stuff. I mean, you can always do samples if that's the case, and be on a clip and have samples and stuff like that and really work on that aspect of your show. But yeah, I don't think about that. I mean, Josue, he could do multiple things. Like if we started to add keys, he could probably do keys and guitar. That'd be awesome. But yeah, I don't really think about that stuff because it's like we don't really. I like when the 4 of us play live. I am like okay personally with it being the 4 of us. Like we can have as many instruments and a bunch of awesome stuff. I don't ever really think about having more. Although it was really cool playing Gramps with Jer when we did that show with Jer and we played Gramps with them, and having Jer come up and play trombone on Tuesday was really fun. And it's cool to have people come in and just like hop in and do stuff like that. I would love it because I would love also to have more vocalists. Like I would love to have people just ripping some harmonies and doing that. And I love that stuff so much. But the 4 of us, I'm like okay with it being super minimal and it just being the 4 of us. And we have like a vibe. We have like a chemistry together that is just like, we've been doing this shit together, playing in bands together for so long, and I'm like okay with it being specifically the 4 of us. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said for only having like 4 people playing live and it sounding way bigger, I guess.
The pedals are 4, right?
Yeah.
That's what pedals are for.
Exactly. Yeah, you get you a wall of pedals.
Yeah.
I don't know, even
good.
Yeah, I don't know, even like I don't know, you'll see like I was able to see Prince. He played at Essence Fest in New Orleans in like, I don't know, 2015 or 2014, something like that. And it was only, it was 4 people, including him playing guitar, and then like a keyboardist and singers. It wasn't like it wasn't like 17 people on stage.
It was not.
No.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't need a bunch. And sometimes it's wonderful to get like a bunch of people together. That was fun. That's what was fun about playing in Jer. It was like they had a horn section and then like the string instruments too, like the guitar and bass and stuff like that. It was just so much fun playing, and a keyboardist. It was so much fun playing with like a bigger group too. Like it was a party. It was super fun. It was like the most fun I've ever had playing a show was with Jer.
Yeah.
So there's also like magic in that as well, but it whatever it calls for in each individual band or project, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry, I gotta say this, but I'm really upset that I didn't say it before. Another R&B artist that I absolutely love, D'Angelo.
Yeah.
Pay homage to fucking D'Angelo, like the king.
Yeah.
So
what is his like the How Does It Feel video? Lives rent free in my head of him just spinning around.
Yeah.
I feel that. Do you guys?
Anyway,
so do you guys like? Do you guys put a lot of like when you're releasing something? Are you like, oh man, we gotta do all this social media stuff and this? We gotta make videos and we gotta do all this stuff. I don't know.
So that's what we did for this last EP.
Yeah.
We normally used to not. Not that we used to not, it's just like the budget,
Yeah.
But now we're realizing it's an important thing to do. If you like, depending on how you want your band, like how far you want to take your band. I like doing music videos. I think it's super fun. When we put out the EP, like I learned how to do face filters. Like I learned how to code a little bit just to do face filters to match the singles we were putting out. We did like cocktails to enhance your experience for like each individual song. We did music videos for those songs too with our buddies. I did 2 of those videos, and then our friend Steve did film 2 of those videos. And
wait, cocktails.
Yeah.
So can you explain that? Like, what you just, yeah, you just made the cocktail. Like, is it like a video of you making a cocktail? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I made like a little cocktail card to show the ingredients for an alcoholic and non-alcoholic version of it. And yeah, me and my friend Angel, who is also like a beast, like behind the bar and in the kitchen, she's like, that girl knows flavor. All right. Cool cocktails. She knows flavor. So we would just get in theme. We had lights up, and we would just make cocktails in order to enhance your experience of like the music videos that we were putting out for every single that we put on that EP. So that was fun. It was really fun creating that and getting creative with it. So
do you? Yeah. So like,
it's on our YouTube.
Oh shit! I need to check it out. When you're making cocktails, do you feel the need to do like crazy shit, like setting something on fire and flare? Yeah.
No. Okay. I'm bad.
What are your thoughts on that?
I make fun of flare. I think it's hilarious to make fun of flare. My friend Lauren, we work behind the bar together. She's interested. I would love to learn how to do flare. Some of it's really cool, but I like to make fun of it sometimes. Just poking a little bit of fun.
Yeah. Not hurting anybody.
Just literally being like.
Yeah. Can you give an example? Yeah.
Yeah, like that. So like this. You have like the cup, and I'm like, you grab the syrup, and you're just like, whoop, and it's just funny. Like, I don't know. We like to spin the tins too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we like to every once in a while we'll be shaking at the same time, and she's like, "What? We don't do that. That would be fucking chaotic." But fun. But we do want to. Yeah, flare would be fun to mess around with. But just sometimes it just takes so much longer to make a cocktail, and we are kind of like a busier craft cocktail bar, so it's like I'm making like an 8-step ingredient. I don't have time to. Go like this, do a little bit of that.
Under the leg, yeah.
I'm good, dude. Like, I got to get to the point right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't feel the need. But we do like some things we light up. We have a cocktail right now called Final Destination.
Oh, shit.
With a little bit of overproof.
Kills you. Yeah.
We light it on fire. I don't know. It kills you with joy.
With taste. Yeah.
Delicious flavor. Yeah. Yeah, but definitely love doing that. Lighting stuff on fire, some cool garnishes. Yeah, it's a good time.
What's the if somebody are there drinks that you're just like, fuck? Like, I know I got friends at Starbucks, and they're like, fuck, this motherfucker ordered a Frappuccino or whatever. I was
going to say, was it a Frappuccino?
Yeah.
They probably hate making Frappuccinos. They probably hate them. Yeah. There's one cocktail on the menu. I just don't like making it. I don't want to say which one. It's a delicious drink, but when people order it, it annoys me. I'm annoyed.
Is it like how many steps it is, or is it like the steps are
It is.
Silly?
I do a reverse dry shake. So, because I'll tell you about that. So when you're...
That's an insider term, yeah.
You have a dry shake and a reverse dry shake. So what that is when you're making like a sour or something that has egg white in it, or in our case we use aquafaba, so that you get that nice little foam, like in a whiskey sour or like a gin sour or Ramos gin fizz or whatever the hell. Anytime you're using egg white or aquafaba for that fluff in a drink, to get a really good fluff, you need to either shake it really hard before you add the ice and then shake it again. I personally like to do the reverse, where you shake the cocktail with the ice first, you slang that thing, and you take the ice out, and then you shake it really hard so you're not over diluting it, and you're getting that good fluff on the top. So I don't know why, just making that drink pisses me off. You can order a whiskey sour and it won't piss me off, but that specific one, I don't know why. It bothers me. It freaking annoys me. I don't know why.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long has I've only recently learned. I think I'm out of the game because I know what I like, and I just get what I like. How long has Fernet been a thing.
For Ned.
For Ned?
No, it's for Ned. I mean,
okay.
For Ned, the bartender's handshake. Strong opinion. Fernet fucking sucks. Okay.
You heard it here first.
Come after me. I'd rather drink 2 ounces of Malort straight to the dome before I would drink Fernet. Okay. I don't give a crap. I'd rather drink Chinar. Chinar is also like a type of. It's an artichoke. Was it aperitif? I'm gonna get roasted for this.
After dinner drink.
Yeah, which is what Fernet is as well. It's herbaceous. I would rather drink green chartreuse. I would rather drink Chinar, but green chartreuse is also very expensive. Also, you can't really even get. You cannot really get chartreuse right now. It's very hard. So Chinar is actually it's an Italian bitter aperitif and of the Amaro variety. There we are. Okay. Fernet has been in the game. I'm not sure. A lot of people love it. I really can give you a time frame, but I know it's a bartender's handshake. It's just the worst. I'd rather not drink it. Keep it away from me. I'd rather not drink. Like, keep it away from me. Like, I don't want it. Yeah. That's
yeah. I was at a bar and the bar was kind of packed, so my buddy was like, "Will you just order me a drink and I'll just pay you?" I was like, "Okay." And he's like, "Can you get me a Fernet and Coke?" I'm like, "Oh, Fernet and Coke." Oh.
Yeah, that's a popular thing in certain countries and stuff like that too. Yeah.
Nasty. Yeah, it's like I think I don't like it. It feels it feels like it's kind of where now and for a while now Malort's had this like, well, you gotta have a shot of Malort because it's terrible.
Oh, yeah, you gotta really lean in on the self-hatred. Yeah.
I feel like Fernet is approaching that kind of cult favorite drink.
Yeah. 100%. It is taking the world by storm right now. 100. As well as the espresso martini. And don't get me fucking started with this. It's delicious.
Yeah.
What are you doing with Bailey's in it? But that's also my hot take on that too.
Is it just the idea of the espresso and I don't know what's the espresso hatred, I guess.
I love espresso. No, there's no hatred. It's just it is taking the world by storm right now. Like you go
okay.
We batch it because it's several steps. So we just batch it. We batch our liquor together. So it's the same every time. So all we got to do is do our batch and then our ounce of like fresh espresso that we make. But like we'll just get slammed like immediately, like 8 espresso martinis, like right off rip. Like it's also a coupe issue. We're a small space. We don't have that many coupes, but hey, I get it. It's delicious. So.
Is a coupe a preparation area? What is that?
It's a glass. So, martini, martini glasses?
Yeah.
But it's like round. It's like the fancy ones, pinky out.
Do you guys like make your own fancy ice and stuff?
We don't. Luckily, we order it. We do have king cubes, like the big square rocks, cube rocks, but we order them. Thank God, because that's a whole thing, and they're crystal clear. If we made them in house, they would be cloudy.
Is cloudy bad? You want them clear?
It's just pretty amazing when it's just completely a clear ice cube.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, I know you got to run.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You said you know what you drink. What do you drink?
I don't know. I just like old fashions usually. If we go to like a nice cocktail type place, I just get old fashioned because I'm like, there's so much stuff. I don't know anything. I'm dumb.
Bourbon or rye?
I usually do bourbon.
Okay.
I guess I don't know. I always like defer to the bartender too. I'm like, whatever you want to do, explore the space.
It depends on what you're in the mood for. You want something smooth, a little bit of spice, but you can find that in either category. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
It's all good. But yeah, I think we can wrap this up.
Okay.
Thanks for talking. Do you have any closing words?
I don't know. What kind of closing words should there be? Don't drink Fernet. drink Malort instead, or green shirt. Closing words. Thank you for having me. I'm glad we were able to do this and hang out. Yeah, we were going back and forth there for a minute, just being like, "Can we do it? Gotta cancel. Do it." I almost canceled it.
Right. Yeah, it was.
I was up till 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Yeah. And I have to work at 5 and train someone today. No. Yeah, but it's always cool. Like, I really did feel like I was gonna stop doing music for a bit. Once we put out this EP, I'm like, I think I'm gonna be done with this stuff soon. Really? And then, yeah, I don't know. I got in my head about it. I was feeling really discouraged. I was really exhausted from putting out so much when we put out that EP. Doing all the music videos and everything, editing, keeping up on social media and doing all that was kind of exhausting for me, but it was a learning experience, and I know how to better prepare for next time once I had a break from it. But also going on tour with Insiggy reignited why I love doing what I'm doing, like music in any capacity, and reignited why I love Woolbright and why I love doing this, and to keep it going. Like, I don't know why. Sometimes your brain puts on gloves and is like, I'm gonna fight you. Yeah. And you got to be like, no, I put your gloves on and fight her back a little bit. Be nice to her, because there's a reason why she's got gloves on. But yeah. Damn,
that's deep. Yeah, I feel. Yeah, it's, if it takes a lot to, just outside of like, writing these songs and like putting yourself out there that way, you also have to be like, hey, come on down to check out, you got to do all this other stuff that comes along with it.
That's not recording music and playing music. Yeah. But I've been, so it's cool. And what I'm saying is it's cool to do this and like talk. I know we talked a lot of bartending stuff, which I also love. It's part of my life. But like, it's cool to like, for you to care and want to like, talk to me about music stuff. Right, and that's pretty cool. Yeah, so I appreciate it.
Hell yeah. It's all Woolbright. It's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Thank you.
Everything's awesome. Everything's great. But no, definitely. Well, because like, I just like talking to people. I like talking to cool people I think are interesting. Like, that's my whole thing about this podcast. I'm not getting money from, I don't know. Yeah. From whoever, from adamandeve.com or wherever, other podcasts are getting money. So yeah. So, and I think, even like little, and I like to tell people like their music's cool. I'll just send them like a message or something like, hey, this is cool. Yeah. Because I know that goes a long way. It
really does.
Yeah.
It really does. I think it's important to, in any capacity, express how you're feeling, like about, like if you think something good, especially if it's a good thought, it's a positive thought, you think someone's gonna feel good, like words of affirmation, I know is big for a lot of people, and just being able to share that light and joy with other people, it goes a long way and it carries on to others. It's like a little trickle effect of that. So
a little Turkish delight I hand out to people. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's cool. Yeah, it's, and I don't know, it's hard times, mental health wise, Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool, Candice. Stay on for a second. You had options, but you decided to talk to me, and I appreciate it.
What was that?
You had options, but you decided to talk to me, and I appreciate it.
Of course, Michael. Thank you for freaking having me, dude.